Hey everyone, Dennis and
Stephanie.
so we're coming to you today live, and we wanted to talk about the first time we went to Belize and really maybe how that might translate into helping you guys understand the path of progress and where Belize is heading. So, do you remember, Steph, the first time we left Michigan, booked that first flight down to Belize?
2002.
Wow. July
We were little
2002. We
kids.
were, still are. And our goal was to find a place in Belize to live. And so we landed in Belize at the international airport, of course, where everybody has to come through.
Ladyville.
And we visited several parts at that time. So, where did we go on this initial fact finding trip?
Well, we were lucky enough to have some people there that really became friends right at the very beginning. And I think everyone will find that's true. If you're willing to have friends, they're willing to be your friends. So we had some awesome friends down there that showed us around. And we ended up in Hattieville, which is 16 miles from Belize City from the ocean. So, little tiny village. We still have amazing friends there. And it's not what you'd consider like what your postcard idea of Belize is in your head, but the heart is there. My goodness, we've learned so much there. The cooking that people taught me how to do, and the different things I got to try, and the friends we made. So we lived there for a while, and we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so on that first trip, July 2002, we went to Hattieville, Belize City, and then we went inland to the Cayo district. We had a great time staying at Windy Hill, checked out those areas, and then went out to Ambergris Caye. And our first experience with San Pedro was, I think it was July 7th or 8th, 2002. We landed. It was our first time, my first time certainly on one of those little puddle jumper planes, the 14 passenger Tropic Air flights.
And he used to not like to fly at all,
No.
even the big flights. So.
And we landed and we got off the plane, and at that time it was all sand roads on Ambergris Caye. There were no paved roads at all.
Super charming.
Yeah. Walked across the street, checked into the Blue Water Hotel, not the Blue Water Grill, the Sunbreeze Hotel. Stayed there, stayed next door at Ruby's for a couple nights.
We also checked into the Blue Water Grill quite a few times.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Still do.
And, the island has really changed a lot since then. It still has a laid back feel. It's like stepping back in time. So if you're going there for the first time this year in 2021, you're still going to think it's undeveloped and raw and native and out there. And certainly things have changed in the past 18 years. But the good thing about Ambergris Caye is so much of it is still in its raw native state. So, for example, San Pedro town now is pretty busy, right?
Yeah.
So packed full of golf carts.
That also means that I can go down there and buy art supplies, which I never could do before. Or I can go to the cheese shop and get really interesting cheeses at Wine Divine, or wine, or just different things that would be very hard to get back then.
Ah, good point.
So
good point. So with the development came a lot more opportunities to get everything you need on the island. And this leads us to a question from viewers is some viewers feel that they need to go to the mainland for supplies. For example, I've had some comments recently from clients who said, I don't want to live on an island because I have to go to the mainland to get everything. So how would you respond to that question?
That feels like people are thinking of like Alaska or really far-flung places. There's no, of course, Walmarts or Targets or any big, huge places, but the grocery people there have it under control. I could pretty much buy same hair stuff I buy here in Europe, same hair stuff I buy in the States. You can get, I would use like maybe Pantene or the same toothpaste, and it's actually cheaper there than it would be here and in a lot of places in the States. So the prices aren't bad. I don't know what you would get on the mainland that would be different from on the island. I think you can pretty much get everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe if you wanted to just like you go to a bigger city, if you want a different dress or a different pair of shoes, although there are hundreds of, places to find, I can find stuff.
She's a good shopper.
But yeah, I mean, you can get pretty much anything you need.
Yeah, so this leads me to my next point. So on one of the Facebook group websites, I saw a person asking what kind of groceries they can get on Ambergris Caye, because they had been looking at going to Corozal, so they researched that. But on Ambergris Caye, you have very large supermarkets that would remind you of walking into any supermarket in the United States, just a little bit smaller. It's island-sized. But you can get pretty much anything on Ambergris Caye that you would get anywhere else in Belize. So you don't have to go to the mainland for that.
Actually, I would say you could probably get more things on Ambergris Caye because My shopkeepers, if I said that I wanted something, like I really wanted maraschino cherries or I wanted Chef Boyardee ravioli because it reminded me of growing up, things like that, they would listen to me and they would order it for me. And so whatever the people want is what comes in. Sometimes then I'd be like, oh, I'm not interested in that anymore. And then, poor Abdul or something would have tons of maraschino cherries or whatever. But we might have a little more bougier tastes or a little more weird tastes. And maybe in Corozal people eat a little bit more simply, a little bit more of the earth, a little bit more rice and beans. So if you have the expat, sometimes you have the expat taste buds. And you might get the different cereals and we used to get ice cream that was, I mean, my goodness, frozen from the States all the way over. You're going to pay a premium because it's a hard work to get it over there, but you can get it. So I think you can probably get more on the island because you have people who are more interested in that, more Americans.
Exactly. So food's not an issue. Everything you need food-wise on the island, including all the fresh fruits and vegetables that they grow in Belize. Fish, of course. Seafood, of course. The beef is good. The beef is grown on the mainland of Belize by Running W Farms. So everything like that is available. All of the good rums and beers and all that, of course, is available.
Even things like waffle makers or lasagna pans.
Waffle makers.
Well, I meant like people think you're going to an island and you can't get stuff. It's like if I want to make lasagna, I went out and bought a lasagna pan. It's not that big of a deal. You just go to the place and you get it. You can get all your stuff, just like if you're getting into your first apartment. You can deck out your entire apartment or a little house with anything you need.
Deck out your entire apartment with waffle makers. There you go.
Well, I'm just saying it's a specific thing. And you'd think, oh, can I get a waffle maker?
Yes.
I mean, maybe not a crepe pan, but probably. I mean, it's very, you can get all sorts of really great stuff. I mean, Key Supplies is the best.
Yeah, so in addition to the grocery stores, which are large, there's also a lot of hardware stores. So anything you need for your home, you can get everything you need to build a home right on island.
And furnish.
Yeah, so if you can buy refrigerators, stoves, microwaves, fans, ceiling fans, air conditioners.
Art, awesome local artists you can go to their galleries or you can actually talk to them and talk about your color palettes and what you would like, and they'll make a piece for you for a good price for them and a good price for you. So supporting burgeoning artists. Really a lot of cool stuff that you can get. I mean, almost too much cool stuff. And then even like the people on the beach, we bought like a table runner from a Guatemalan lady, and they will cut you a good deal, but I was like, no, I'm paying full price for this because she put in, and I gave her a tip, but because she put in a lot of work. You could smell the fire that she sat next to as she was doing every little stitch. And I thought, she's putting her DNA in this as she's, with her family. This is like a piece of love, a handcrafted. I also handcraft things, so I understand all the work. So you can get, the legit awesome stuff.
Yeah.
A hammock. We bought a hammock from someone like that. It was really cool.
Yeah, so you don't need to leave the island to get any supplies. The only thing I would suggest is that, let's say you build a new home and you have some of your furniture handmade, because I really recommend that people get their beds, tables, all that kind of furniture made out of Belizean hardwood. You can get that made right on Ambergris Key. But let's say you wanted something more like a U.S. style sectional or couch or big comfy chairs for your living room if you have a larger home. For that, you can go to Belize City. There's several large furniture shops in Belize City. There's places like Marab's. There's places to get good mattresses and things like that. So the island does have a full supply. But if you want a little bit more as far as options, a little bit more variety, then you can take a day trip to Belize City and see what they have.
And it's fun because they have all the little things that you forget about, like the little candles, and they're very cheap, really good prices. Marab has like great stuff from like shower curtains to pillow covers and shams, and just the things to make your house a home. And it's in a good area where you can go for lunch in near where the cruise ships come in. So they have a lot of places you can go. They have jewelry shops over there for the cruisers mainly. And they have, we just would have a drink and just go over there, and it would be a really fun day. So it's not like a pain in the butt to do it. It's more like an adventure. You can take the plane over, you can take the water taxi over, and then they'll deliver the stuff, to the island for you. So it's really not a big deal. It's more of an adventure, part of the fun.
There you go, guys. So thanks a lot for tuning in today. If you like these videos, or if you have questions, say you want to ask Steph and I a question that you've thought about, you never got an answer to, go ahead, type it in below, email me, and we'll get together and give you our opinions, our answers for what they're worth, and maybe they'll be helpful. So have a great day. We'll talk to everyone soon.
Bye.